I just went through that with my job for Princess Cruise Line. They wanted to see, the audition was, they want to see how you look, but they want to hear you talk, and they'll ask questions, any auditions, they'll ask questions to get to know your personality, to see what are you like, what do you talk about, can you handle being on set with other people. They want to see what, they're going to be on set with you for a while. They want to know that you're going to work well with others, and that it's, you know, there aren't going to be, hopefully there are no red flags.
What are some of the things they should think about?
Gosh, definitely if you're booking jobs through somebody, write a little handwritten note. That goes a long way at this point. I just did a job, as I said earlier, for Princess Cruise Line. Wrote a casting director a little note. I was so thankful for that job. It was a great job, great people, great everything. A little thank you note, I think, goes a long way. Instead of just email, make it more personal. I think that's something we all need to do a little bit more. Working on set, for me, I like to stand back and observe for a while and kind of take it in. Sometimes you're on a set for a day, sometimes it's a week or a month, but being a chameleon and kind of watching what's going on and know when to talk or when you need to be on the job, and you need to be mindful of what's happening, because there are other people on set who are doing their job, and it's not the time to be social or never the time to gossip, but you have to be mindful of everybody and their surroundings. There's, the camera guy, the lighting guy, the producers, the directors. And sometimes when you try to talk to somebody during a shoot, or even when it's on the quieter side, they're in their head working out whatever it is. It's a work day. They're doing their thing. So you can't take that personally. I know a lot of times I've watched it happen where people are like, oh my God, I think they're upset with me because I went to say something and they bit my head off. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with you. Right now, in their head, they're thinking about that long list of things they have to do, because they're running the show. So they're not just doing what we're doing. We're in front of the camera. We need to, be aware of what we need to do, but we're not taking care of a whole set. We're not, there's so many people that you need to be in charge of and keep it going. And that's something people need to be mindful, or even at an agency. The agents go through a laundry list of things, even not in the entertainment business, any business. You need to be aware when somebody's just got their thing going on in their business. And sometimes we're in our heads and we're not hearing everything because we are still on the clock. So just being aware. I think most people are, but there are definitely a lot of people that are not. So that's a good reminder to just be aware of your surroundings. And again, that patience thing, that helps.
So how important do you think social media and marketing and PR is to somebody's career that wants to break in these days?
Definitely important. Social media has changed the game big time. It took me a while to embrace it too. Like at first, I feel like you've mastered it. I want to be just like you. You have mastered it. I remember I would get so frustrated because I love being up and about and on set and moving. But then I realized being on a laptop, being on my phone, all that is part of it now. I have to learn to embrace it. And again, I haven't mastered it, but I'm really making more of an effort, because it is important with your business. And it's also very important on what you put out there, especially, with the entertainment business. I mean, I've been in auditions where they're not even watching my audition. They're already looking me up to see what am I doing? What's going on? What does my feed look like? Is there anything that, they wouldn't want this person representing their company? So being mindful of some of that stuff, I feel like a lot of people are kind of meshing in the party scene with the business world. And I don't think that's really smart. Yeah, you can show, like, hey, I don't know, a certain personal thing in your life, but those are two big contradicting things. And leave your personal life and your party life, or whatever it is you like to do. Sometimes those are things better kept to yourself, or between your friends. Maybe that's something you text to each other with your friends. I don't know. But when it comes to your business, I think people need to be more mindful of what they're putting out there, because whatever it is you're putting out there stays out there. And that could come back to haunt you. You can lose a job because of that. I am always mindful. I remember I almost lost a job, an infomercial job for a product that it was a beauty product, but they almost didn't want to hire me because they saw I had done a swimsuit ad. It was tasteful. It was a swimmer's ad. And I had a calendar actually as well, but they almost didn't hire me. But they looked at everything and they knew it was okay. It's her calendar. It's a job. So they ended up hiring me, but I almost lost it because of something they didn't think it was, up to par with what their company is.
It's
so
wild
like that.
It's wild because I don't think people completely grasp the fact that we are living in a world, good or bad. I always say this, like, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying
Agreed.
It is what it is, right? And you either fight the system or you work within the system. But what's interesting, especially a lot of people that are trying to get clients or, trying to do any type of business. I mean, people don't realize that now it's like your business card. Your Instagram is your business card. So I 20 years ago, I handed you my business card and you're like, okay, is this a nice business card? Oh, the picture is nice. Or, oh, the logo's nice. Or, you would never put out like a crappy, photocopied business card, right? Like with a little crappy piece of, or the quality of the card had to be like nice paper and, like it was clean. Because if somebody handed you something that was a Xerox copy with a little piece of paper, you would be like, come on, this guy's a joke. That's, why would I want to do business with this person? The same thing goes when we're talking about our social media. And mine, of course, is not perfect. And of course it's, there's so many, there's so many, more things that I wish I could do. But the bottom line is if I want to do business with somebody, I'm going to look them up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Google their name. I'm gonna, look up their Instagram, and I'm gonna say, okay, what does their Instagram look like? What kind of person are they? And then what's interesting is you see so many people, especially in my kind of business, just the sales business, and there's like all their pictures are like pictures of their dog. I mean, they don't even have a picture of themselves on their social media. So how am I supposed to? Yeah, how am I supposed to actually know anything about this person if they don't have any content at all? And so again, to everybody that's watching, please, if there's anything that anything that you remember, you're going to remember a lot of cool things about this podcast. But one of the things is just get your social media to a place that looks really professional and solid. If you want to share pictures of your dog, like Patricia said, just send it to your friends or send it to your, and again, I'm not saying you can never send pictures of your dog.
If you want to do one or two, here or there.
Every once in a while, that's fine. But I want to see your face. I want to also hear your voice. I think hearing your voice is very, very important. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you sound like. And I want to see if you can form the cool thing about you doing a podcast is you could take this podcast
personality.
Exactly. You could take this podcast. I could send you the raw footage. You could take the podcast and you could have somebody edit it for you, cut it up for you, and all these little pieces, and you could post. And it doesn't even have to, I don't even have to be in it. It could just be clips of you in this podcast talking about the things that you believe in. So that way, when somebody looks you up, they're going, oh my God, she's really bright. She's really smart. Because and I know there's a lot of talent people out there that they're looking at you and they're saying, okay, there's 100 million other women that are beautiful women, but the talent wants to kind of work with somebody that's pretty and smart. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of, is there any?
It's funny. It's funny. Sorry. I just went through that with my job for Princess Cruise Lines. They wanted to see, the audition was, they want to see how you look, but they want to hear you talk, and they'll ask questions, any auditions, they'll ask questions to get to know your personality, to see what are you like? What do you talk about? Can you handle being on set with other people? They want to see what, they're going to be on set with you for a while. They want to know that you're going to work well with others, and that it's, there aren't going to be, hopefully there are no red flags. So Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't think about the vocal part. You want to hear people's voices, but honestly, in every audition I go to, that's what it is, or any self-tape I do. It's those are the questions asked because they want to know you can walk and talk.
That's it. Walk and chew gum at the same time. So, all right, you dedicated the book to your mom. Can you share any information about your mom and how she influenced your life?
Oh my gosh, yes. She was amazing. She came to this country she came from Greece with two kids, and then had me accidentally when she moved to Chicago. She didn't know the language. She was abandoned, abused by her husband, my father, and so she really had nothing, and she had no family. So I don't know how she did it, but she figured out a way. She was such a strong woman. She worked her butt off to support her three kids and make ends meet. And she never stopped. I mean, I grew up and I went off, I left, I moved on, I came back, and she was still working so hard as if we still had nothing. That was just her mentality. That was how she grew up. And, you know, she grew up in a small village outside of Athens.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.